What's going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG video where I am joined by a very special guest coming off of his third regionals win of this season. Igor Costa come in here with that triple baby Buzzwole deck, which a lot of people are now calling the new best deck. How you doing, Igor? How's it going, man?
Good.
Good, good. Well, congratulations first off. 3 regionals wins in one season is insane. He's puts you in second in North America right now in championship points, I think. And
third, it's like by 4 points down.
Oh, gosh. Well, maybe with a League Cup or something we can jump into second place. But congratulations, man. It's super awesome.
Thank you.
So, yeah, we're just going to kind of take a look at your list here before we talk about the tournament and how all of that went. What made you, like, heading into the new format with Forbidden Light being legal, what made you want to play this Buzzwole deck, and where did kind of this idea of the 3 baby Buzzwole come from?
So, nothing really made me want to play the deck. I actually did not want to play Buzzwole because my past experiences with Buzzwole were, like, a lot of ups and downs. Sometimes I beat my opponent in, like, 15 minutes. Sometimes I lose some stupid games because I don't hit my elixirs or because I have those opening hands with like 6 energies and something else.
Yeah.
So I did not got points in Brazil playing the deck, and I was really upset about that. But I did got top 4 at Charlotte playing the deck, and Ryan won, and Azul got second in Brazil. So it couldn't be because of the deck. It's usually like either I had a bad day or luck wasn't on my side or something like that. So coming into the event, I did not want to play because I was like, the deck is not that reliable, but it is the best deck. I actually wanted to play something with Malamar, but then Zoroark had so much hype, like Zoroark Lycanroc the most. So we started like thinking maybe just play Buzzwole again. So we were trying to figure out the way to beat Malamar, and one of our friends, Chris, came into our room with his Buzzwole deck with 3 baby Buzz that he's been playing like in forever. And Jimmy played him a couple games against Malamar, and it was doing like fine against Malamar, like 50-50 about that. So we were like, and we were noticing that the Malamar was the deck struggling to beat the Buzzwole, not the other way around. Like Buzzwole draw fine, and he would like put like a lot of pressure into Malamar. And that's the thing about the deck, is that not only you have the best type, you have the best like tools to work with. Like you have the only special energies that do something. Like the Fairy Energy doesn't do anything, Special Dark doesn't do anything, Mystery Energy is gone, Splash, I guess Splash is a good energy, and yeah, Strong is just so good. And then you have the Ansi, Rage Rock, Choice Band, so many things, and now Beast Energy, and now you can power up all your attackers, which is kind of ridiculous, and you don't really need anything. Like even with those dead hands, you can just go Guzma, kill something, or put some damage. Next time I'll kill you, take 2 prizes, maybe I'll get a supporter of those prizes. So like even with dead hands, you're really consistent. And yeah, those are like a lot of reasons for us to play babies where you can just not give EX attackers. That's really good, actually.
Yeah, sorry, you
like
cut out there just a little bit. Would you repeat that like last sentence real fast?
So yeah, 3 baby Buzz is like really good, especially for skillful players that don't bench EXs and just try to play like, oh, now you're odd prizes, like let me put you back to even prizes and not bench any EXs. So you have to take like 2 babies now, and then I'll put 2 EXs. So now you have to take 2 EXs after that. It's just like really, really good.
Yeah, 130 HP basic that can do a ton of damage after all these buffs. Definitely seems pretty solid. Especially since it's a 1-prize Pokemon. So I'll just ask you a couple questions about the list here before we hop into the tournament report, if that's okay. It seemed like heading into the tournament, a lot of people had cut out the Regirock in favor of Diancie, but we see here you opted to play both cards. What was some of the math, like specific numbers, that made you feel like Regirock was still worth including?
Well, I saw a lot of people, especially in the mirror, struggling when they prized Diancie. That's one main reason. Another one of the reasons is that you really want to hit 60 with Baby Buzz early. especially against another baby Buzz. So later you can just hit for 80, and hitting 80, you just have to like. So if you hit for 60, it's usually going to be like either you have a strong energy and the red rock, or you have a Dansey and the red rock and no strong energy. So next turn, all you have to do is either find a strong energy if you have the 2 Pokemon, or find the Dansey if you have the energy and the Pokemon. So like it gives you a lot of options for cool math, like that 80, 60, or 50, 80. 50, 80 is another one that you usually do a lot on Baby Buzz. That you just go strong energy or Dansey early, and then next turn to hit 80, you just have to find the red rock if you went Dansey energy and strong energy, or if you went strong energy and nothing else, you have to find red rock and Dansey, and you can hit for 80.
Yeah.
Another thing that helps with is the Lycanroc maths, because Lycanroc can hit for 110 or 100, and it's basically like all the math that you have in your deck, like strong energy, choice band, beast energy plus Dansey plus red rock, basically lets you hit all the numbers you want. So it lets you like plan the game pretty well, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure, and definitely seems like, and I feel like also just like getting back onto an even number with a choice band, or if you miss the choice band, getting onto an odd number for like specific math can definitely be really solid. So I definitely like the inclusion of red rock, and I'm sure it was solid throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to ask you about, something that the first thing I saw your list, the first thing that stood out to me was the 1/1 Lycanroc and the 1/1 Octillery. It feels like going into the tournament with just 1/1s of both of these super crucial cards would feel so risky. And I know like you and like the group of guys that you build decks with and stuff are normally like all about consistency. So is that something you were really worried about, or did you like just have to cut those second basics for space, or what was that process like?
Well, I was like a bit worried about it, but like I've played one ofs before, like 1/1, and usually I tend to do pretty well when I play them, like a cups and stuff like that.
Sure.
It's kind of ridiculous. And the way I do it is just like I play knowing my outs. Like, oh, it's prize? All right, forget that. Let's go game plan somewhere else. Let's not do that. And then sometimes, for example, you prize Lycanroc and you have a Rockruff in deck, and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to bench this Rockruff, and I'm going to make my opponent think I have Lycanroc. Make him waste a Guzma on this Rockruff. And maybe if he doesn't, and I'll get it off my prizes, he becomes a threat. And sometimes like you can put pressure that way,
Yeah.
And same with Octillery. Same goes for Octillery.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to pinch it early, even though you don't have the Octillery in deck, just because you can draw it back, or you can take it off the prizes. And usually when your opponent doesn't know your counts, it makes it a lot better too, because they don't play around it. So maybe later, or from now on, maybe you have to go 2/1 Lycanroc or 2/1 Octillery, because I saw a lot of other people doing that, like Prem, Roll, and others that played the deck. They did that.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to ask about was the Elixir Beast Ring split. How did you guys decide on a 4-3 split? I've seen a lot of lists going 3-3. I've seen some going 4 Elixir, 2 Beast Ring. So you guys just went super heavy with the energy acceleration. How did you decide on that?
Well, then again, Chris Leandro made the list, but I would agree with 4-3 Elixir, because like you really want to Elixir early, and Beast Ring is usually going to be that card, and you're going to usually just use 1 per game. Like there's games where you don't even use it and you win. But using 1 per game is actually really good. It's not like necessary; you can win without it. But it would be ideal to use 1 per game, not 2, not 3. Like 1 is enough. If you ever get 3, like you just like thinning your deck at this point, So usually throughout the game, you go through 1, you discard 1, and then you have 2 left, and then you try to hit it during those turns, turn like where they have 4 prizes, 3 prizes. Yeah. And usually those turns, what you have to do is like put a lot of pressure on the board. Either try to have Octillery. The pressure on the board means that you try to make them Guzma something. Try to make them use Guzma, because if they're using Guzma, they're not ending you. They're not messing with your hand. So it gives you outs for next turn to like, okay, now you didn't end. Power up my board with 2 attackers. Now I'm end proof. Now you can't do anything else. And that's the thing about the deck. It does that a lot. Like I have 3 prizes. Power up 2 attackers. Now you can't do anything because I already took too many prizes early. I'm ahead on the race, and now I have 2 attackers that can kill anything that you come up with, and yeah.
Yeah, definitely seems super strong. Like just being able to put so many energies in play.
Yeah. And they all one-shot everything, and then you have
Yeah,
baby bugs.
yeah, and
It's insane.
so a lot of people, I think, like at first, when people look at the deck, they see 3 baby Buzzwole, and they're like, "Oh, why would they include 3 copies of this card? It's only really great on that turn your opponent has 4 prize cards left." But I think people, now are becoming familiar, of course, with Swing Around, the attack. Like the numbers just get ramped up so fast with all these damage modifiers. Did you find yourself was Swing Around kind of the main attack you used throughout the weekend?
Well, I think Sledgehammer was my main attack. Like, I would start all the games with, like, Sledgehammer for 80, Sledgehammer for 70, something like that.
Yeah.
Next turn, you know what? I'll kill you with Sledgehammer if you don't do anything about this. Or, like, I would use Swing Around to, like, put pressure, basically, where I'm saying, okay, I have this Swing Around, and I have this Buzzwole on my bench. What do you want to do about it? Do you want to deal with this baby Buzz, or do you want to go after the 2 prizes and have this baby Buzz for next turn, which is going to kill a Yex if you don't do anything? Yeah. You just start with, like, baby Buzz, strong energy, attack. They do something, you go, okay, max elixir onto, like, a Rockruff attached to the baby Buzz. Now you have this Rockruff to deal with. It's going to become like an Rock GX you, or you deal with a baby Buzz with 2 energies that can just swing around and kill a Yex next turn, either way.
Yeah, it seems like it can kind of be
it's a lot
like
of pressure, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like you can just put your opponent in situations where it's like they can't deal with everything, and
like, if you start against the mirror and you get to attack a Buzzwole GX with baby Buzz for, like, strong energy, that's 50. Choice band, that's 80. The NC, 100. Boom. Next turn, he's dead.
Yeah,
with just 1 energy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, honestly. Very, very good card for sure, and I'm sure this is a deck we're going to see a lot of moving forward in the format. But enough about the list. We've spent about almost 12 minutes now talking about the deck. Let's move into what your tournament run looked like. So sitting down, round number 1, what did that look like, and what did your day look like?
So round 1, I played against Zorak, like an rock. My opponent, like, it was already a good matchup, and my opponent messed up a couple times. He mallowed when he had 2 cards in hand, and 4 cards, he shuffled in hand, and I had no clue what cards he mallowed for. So I called the judge because he forgot to trade. And the judge was like, okay, that's going to be a warning. And I was like, that doesn't seem right. Let me call the head judge, because, like, so what if this was a situation, which could have been still, if he had, and I actually said this to the judge before even, like, knowing the cards that he had in hand. And I told the judge that, what if this was the situation? He had Floatstone and DC in hand, and then he mallowed for, like, Zorak and a useless card, and now he puts that useless card in the hand, and now he discards that useless card into the other 2. So the judge still said it's just going to be a warning, and they made him put out 4 cards and make me choose 2 to put back in the top. I chose 2 cards, and the cards that he was left with in hand was DC and Floatstone. So he decides to not trade, and the judge was right there, and I said, I don't think you can do that. And I asked the judge, and the judge said, no, you have to trade. So he was forced to discard one of those 2 cards, and he discarded DC, and he went to the attack. And yeah.
Dang.
But yeah, that was a good matchup. Then round 2, well, I thought I had my phone. Oh yeah, it's here. Let me just check real quick.
No, you're good. Yeah, no worries.
Jump. I didn't even remember round 2, actually.
Oh, it's all good. I guess while you're pulling it up, I can ask you. I know you guys tested multiple matchups the night before. Was there any, like, matchup coming into the tournament that you were worried about with this deck while you're kind of pulling that up?
Yeah, I was really worried about the Malamar matchup.
Okay.
But it went pretty well. Like, I ended up playing against 2 Malamar. 1 Ultra Necrozma, 1 Regular Necrozma, and I 2-0'd them both.
Okay, so even after testing it, you felt like it was, like, favorable, but still kind of a tough matchup?
Yeah. So I'm not sure about my round 2 opponent. I think it was, like, not a meta deck. It was something like Metal or something like that. I don't really remember. Then round 3, I played a Mirror, and I accelerated, played well.
I'm sorry, you cut out there a little bit.
Wolinski.
Did you say you lost that third round?
Yeah.
Okay.
I lost my third round to a mirror because he ended me after he killed my artillery low, and I couldn't draw anything, like energy, anything. And that was Cody Wolinski. And then round 4, I probably played against another Zork, beat that. Round 5, it was probably the Malamar. The Ultra Necrozma, 2-0'd that. Then I played against Frank Persic, mirror, Odom. Then played against Ryan Allard, playing Necrozma Dawnwings, 2 of them. Then I played against round 8 Xander Pero. We went. You beat me. What was it? Game 2. Then round 9, I was in a situation where I could ID because I was 1, but I decided obviously not to because I was already in. And I played against Zoark Lycanroc, so that was free. I don't know if Xander was playing the mirror. Then round 5 was the Lycanroc Zoark. I beat that. Round 10 I played against Will.
Okay, sorry guys, had a couple of technical difficulties, but hopefully we should be good to go. We're gonna just hop back into Igor's where day 2 started. So we're gonna start back at round 10, where you said you played against Will, who you eventually met in the finals, right?
Yeah, so I played Will. I beat him game 1. He beat me game 2. Was pretty close. He hit his beat strings. I didn't. Game 3, it was again pretty close, and he got a situation where he just knuckle impacted. I had no way to kill his Pokemon. I had 2 prizes left. He has 1. And so my turn would have had to be... I was out of Buzzwole's GXs, so I had to use Swing Around, putting him on a clock for next turn, so I had knockout next turn, and he's just knuckle impacted. And I also end him on top of that into 1 card, so he needs to retreat or Guzma. Mm-hmm. And actually I had Guzma in hand for next turn, and then he top decked his Guzma for the game. So yeah, and then round 11 I played against Caleb, also the mirror, like 60 card mirror. I ended up 2-0ing him, but it was like all close games, really close.
Sure.
Then against Ryan Silverhouse, then again the mirror. So at this point, 3 times played against mirror, and then I ID'd Ian Robb and Joe Rudiger into top cut.
Nice. So
then top 8 I played against Caleb.
Go ahead. Sorry, you cut out for a second, but you're good.
Okay. So top 8 I played against Caleb. At this point, I'm feeling pretty confident because, like, in Costa Mesa, I played against Caleb as well.
Oh yeah, so, that's pretty funny. So the last regionals you won, you hit the same player in top 8. Obviously different decks, but that's kind of funny how that works out sometimes.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, if I beat you, I'm gonna be feeling pretty good.
If I beat you, I just have to win the tournament then, right?
Yeah, I beat him again in a mirror. Like at this point, I only played a mirror. And then I was gonna play against Ian Robb, against the Garbodor with Fear Belts, and I was feeling like scared about that matchup until I found out that I had no max elixirs. So all I had to do is like go fast and try to beat him that way. So game 1, I tried to go fast, ended up losing. So then game 3, I was like, all right, let's go slow and let's just try to not have him play Beast Rings because that's the only way he powers up his stuff. Mm-hmm. So that worked out better. And I've been 3. And then in the finals, I was against Will, which I was pretty confident. Like I was feeling myself because at this point I played entire day 2, mirror, and I beat them all. And then I wanted my revenge. So, yeah.
And you ended up getting it. So coming away a regional champion for the 3rd time this year. Only been done by one other player in the U.S. So that's a pretty great accomplishment, I would say. You already have such a long list of accomplishments, but adding 3-time regional championship to your resume does not hurt for sure. Yeah. So congratulations once again. But moving forward, like I think if you could sit down for round 1 of Madison again tomorrow, do you think you would change anything about this list for that tournament again?
Probably not.
Just play the same 16.
Yeah. The like 10 energies helped me a lot. Hitting like big strings later in the game where sometimes like you kind of run out of energies, stuff like that. So no.
Yeah, and moving forward as the meta starts to change and maybe people try to find better ways to deal with the 3 baby Buzzwole. I think it's kind of widely accepted that this is a deck that's going to see just a ton of play moving forward, right? So as we move towards Sheffield Regionals and Internationals eventually later on, do you think that the Buzzwole deck in general needs to change at all, or do you think that this same 60 is a pretty good place for people to start with, like their League Cups and stuff?
Well, I think Max Potion is a really good card.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and I think maybe the deck will adapt like in Rock or 2-1 Auxiliary, just so people don't play around your stuff, or even the 4th Baby Buzz, so you can like play better with your prizes.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes
and as you said, it was such a good starter, so having 4 of them makes it even more likely to start it, right? So.
Yep.
Well, nice. Well, congratulations once again, Igor. Pretty great stuff. And I'm going to give you a second here at the end of the video if you've got any sort of plugs or social media shout-outs, anything like that, or any other types of shout-outs you want to do. Feel free. The floor is yours.
Yeah, then again, shout out to Chris Leandro for the list. If it wasn't for him, we probably, I don't know, play like in Rock Zoroark or something. But yeah, definitely shout out to him. Shout out to my team, Carta Magica. Great team. They're changing the game with the tournaments that they've been organizing, plus with Jimmy Ballard for the amazing event. The event was really well ran, and yeah.
Awesome. Well, one more time, congratulations, Igor. Guys, I'm going to definitely be sure to check out Igor on Twitter as well. I'll leave a link to his Twitter. You can follow him there. And thank you so much for sitting down with me, Igor. And that's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks for watching, and we're going to get out of here. Until next time, take care.